Hello, Bells Up Studio, and welcome to today's strength set. We're going to get a little quicker movement than we did in our last set. If you're following this class in program order, we have some 30 on, 30 off intervals today. We're going to get to practice some lateral movement, specifically double suitcase hold lateral lunges. We'll get some fun chest press in today, and then also a little more practice on the kettlebell complex that we've been working on earlier in this program. So we're going to build upon this a little bit. Last time, if you remember, we did this with double bells. Today we are going to do it with single bells. So hit pause, check the description section for all the equipment recommendations that I think you should have to do this class successfully. And this is one that you will want to rely, I should say, more on kettlebells than using dumbbells or other equipment. So let's go ahead and get started. You will need one of your moderate to lightweight kettlebells for this beginning part of the warm-up. So first thing we're going to do is some shoulder cars. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds each side. You might hit 10 reps, you might hit 5 reps, whatever feels like you need today. You can go kind of slow with these or a little faster, but remember with our controlled articular rotations, we want to think of getting full range of motion through our shoulder capsule. So we're going to do a big reach with our palm facing in, and then as we go back, we're going to start to pull our palm behind us and rotating at the shoulder. So I'm thinking of trying to do this. You'll notice that I'm holding onto my rib cage without sort of lifting and cheating by moving the rest of my body. So go ahead and join me here if you haven't already. You can place your palm on your rib cage. So I'm going to face my fingers out, my palm in. I'm going to really reach forward, then reach as far up as I can, turn my thumb when I get back there, reach as far back as I can, and then come down. So if it feels good for you to take these kind of quickly, go ahead and do that. If you want to move a little slower and really feel each juicy part of this range of motion builder in the shoulder capsule, go for it. I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds here. I lied, I'm giving a little longer than 30 seconds each side, just since the little explanation there. I know we've done these in this program before, but it never hurts to refocus on the reach versus just kind of doing shoulder circles here. We're not doing swimmers with our shoulders. Let's go ahead, hit your other side in 3, 2, and 1. So feet are under you solidly. You're going to reach your hand out. Hand can go on that rib cage. I like it there because I have a tendency to let myself kind of roll around, especially because if you guys can see, when I come up, I'm pretty hyperextended in my arms. That means that I can really reach farther back than I probably should sometimes because my joints allow for me to have the mobility to do that, just the way that I am structured and built. So I really have to control myself to not overly let myself reach, to really stay in the shoulder where we're trying to work here. About 10 more seconds on this opposite side. Another great movement for those of you that sit at desks all day or that need a little bit of work on rehabbing your shoulder possibly, or just are feeling generally tight. So we'll do this for 3, 2, and 1. Everyone's favorite hip shifts are next. You can certainly do hip shifts without a weight if you need to. If you choose to do that, you're just going to work on shifting your hip back, sitting into it, versus kind of just shifting our body to the side like this. So I like to think of almost getting a little turn of my chest forward. If you want, hold on to a kettlebell and you're going to kind of aim it towards the opposite foot. So we're going to aim to hit 10 of these together here in total. So go ahead, grab your bell. You'll shift into your hip. We'll call that, this will be technically 3. I'm just going to hold it at the back. 4, chest stays up slightly. 5. I want you to remember this when you're doing your lateral lunges later. This is 7 here. We'll go 8, really sit into that hip. 9, sit into that hip. Last one for 10. Hold here for 3, 2, 1, bell goes down. So the next one, we're going to get to move our hips a little bit more in this one. We're going to do a lateral toe drag. So I'm actually going to shift my hip a little to the outside in this one and kind of feel the difference. I want you to plant down your right foot, push the sole of your foot into the ground. You're going to touch your left toes out to the side, try to keep your knee forward, and then drag that toe in. So we're going to go for this. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds each side. I want you, if you're feeling pretty confident in this one, to try to hit 10. If you don't quite feel confident in this one, you can hold on to something. A table in front of you works really well, just holding here. You can also start to play with, can you shift that hip back in this position without the weight? You've got just under 10 seconds here. Let that toe feel really light on the floor. So it shouldn't feel like I'm stepping and then pulling myself this way. So hold on to something if you really need to. Go ahead and switch your side if you haven't, and make sure to ground down fully through your toes, through your foot, through the sole of your foot before you get in there. You might feel a little little more open on one side versus the other. Try again to put all your weight in the standing leg. You're gonna try to keep your toes forward. This is getting us warm, again, for those lateral lunges that we're taking on today. I had someone message me speaking about an injury that prevented her from lunging, and lunging can sometimes be a little problematic if you had a knee issue or you have any kind of like hip issue that might prevent you from moving on one leg. If at any time lunging doesn't work for you, especially lateral lunging, you can always default into a squat, or you could take a single leg deadlift in the case of what we're doing here today. The squat might be kind of funky for those of you with the knee stuff, but know that squats or deadlift can be in a bilateral stance substituted if one feels better than the other for you. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this out. We're gonna go for a little overhead set. We're gonna take push presses. The beast just left us here. He was like tired of me explaining anatomy and modifications. So what we're gonna do is take a light push press, bending the knees, finding our full lockout position. We're doing this to get our upper body warm for that complex later. Let's go ahead, pick your bell up. 3, 2, and 1. Again, it should be light. We start in the rack position with our knuckles facing the ceiling. We're gonna bend the knees, make sure the feet are under the hips, push, extend the arm fully, pull the bell down to the rack. Do that again, bend, push, pull the arm down. 2 more. Be sure to control your rib cage position here so we're not popping our ribs out when we're in the top of the push press. Step to your other side. Let's dead stop clean it to come up, just keeping that whole vertical profile going from the beginning. Last one. And bell comes down between your feet. Okay, we are finished with that warm-up set. The next set is a 30 on 30 off interval set where we're going to take 3 rounds through 5 things. There aren't 5 movements, but some of them are single side, the lunges, and you get to do a heavy Turkish get up if you've been working on that one. You also will need 2 bells that you feel confident double chest pressing. We're gonna do a little combo of doubles and singles in this one. So go ahead and get your weights ready. I'll explain the setup in just a second. So the first 2 intervals in your 30-second set are a Turkish get up, left and right. As you know, Turkish get-ups might take a little longer than 30 seconds to complete, so you have really a full minute because you have that 30-second rest to finish it. So just stay on the floor in between your get-up sets and get ready to move on to the next side. If you're not doing Turkish get-ups today, you can choose to practice your push presses like what we just did there, or you can take a baby Turkish get-up or practice the elbow rolls like we've done in previous classes here on Bells Up Studio. And when we get to our third interval, you're going to take suitcase lateral lunges with double kettlebells. Ideally, your bells will match here. If they don't, again, you just want to make sure you're keeping it consistent with, I would say, the heavy bell on the moving leg side. So what you're going to do here is step off to the side and you're going to land in sort of that hip shift position with your booty going back, toes are facing forward in the same line. You're going to push through the outside leg and stand up. So notice that the outside hand that I have here, I guess I should say the bell on the opposite side of the leg that's going to move, that bell just goes to the center of my body. My chest stays up sort of like a squat and I push to move myself back. If this feels like too much for you, you can always just hold one bell. You can do that on the side of the working leg, or I kind of prefer with one bell to have it on the side of the inner leg, pushing yourself and coming back. So similar to what we did in a previous program, previous class within this program. So you have both sides to do. We're gonna walk to one side or step to one side. You'll have 30 seconds to rest your hands, 30 seconds stepping to the other side. Last thing is your double kettlebell chest press. So in this one, we wanna remember, we're gonna use our legs to lift the bells. We're gonna push both bells, then one bell, then one bell, then both again for the 30 seconds. This one, I guess I would say this whole sequence is the part that could be dumbbell friendly if you only have access to dumbbells today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go with our Turkish get up on our first side. So go ahead, lay down in your position, find your fetal position. You have 30 seconds to get that get up rolling. So if you're doing the elbow rolls or any of that stuff, the other recommendations, the baby get up without the weight, just make sure that you're sort of completing them as many times as you can in that 30 seconds. No real rest breaks there. If you are doing the full get up with me here and you're confident in it, I want you to go heavy today. Maybe the second and third rounds, you pump your weight up to feel like it's an RPE level 9. Okay, breathe, rest there. We have just about from here 20 seconds left until we hit our second side of our get up. So you're just gonna turn yourself around and stay on the floor there. Maybe practice pushing your upper back into the ground, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's go ahead and come into that second side. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Get-ups are literally not required in your life. You do not have to do them, but they are a good way to work on the stability in your shoulder, to get some rotation laterally in your body, and sometimes they just feel really good, quite honestly. So it is one reason to learn them. Typically, I'll have them in the beginning of programs, in warm-ups, or maybe in a set like this where we're working a little bit more for that rotation and that control through the shoulder. Make sure you're rolling to your fetal position to finish your get-up. The reason we're doing these today in the program like this is because when we get into our next sets of that complex, we want to feel really good in our upper body. Okay, so let's go ahead, get ready with your kettlebells. You're going to ideally have matching weights. And remember that little trick, if you're someone that kind of steps out in a different line, so your toes don't line up, you can use the edge of a mat to kind of help yourself stay in line, so you're not stepping too far forward or back. Let's go ahead, pick your bells up, 3, 2, and 1. They're gonna start outside of your body. You'll step out to the side, find that almost like a little half squat position, and then step back. So I'm pushing through the leg that moved, sending that hip back in space, trying to elevate myself up. I'm not folding over this way like a deadlift as I come through. So you have to resist and keep your chest up. That ski slope spine is ideal in this one. We've got 3, 2, and 1. If you're me, you're gonna switch your weights just because I've been working in these classes with double weights. I'm doing a little gym, you guys will see it. Little changes, gonna have 2 different, actually it's 3 different studio locations now, and I robbed myself of some kettlebells, so getting a few more. So that's why this mixed weight situation is happening, but real life for some of you out there that might not have access to a ton of kettlebells, you can always mix. Just again, make sure you flip the grip so you get an even set. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna even out on the other side. So I'm stepping with my left side now, pushing through the floor, coming up. It is okay if your kettlebells graze towards the ground. Again, this one's kind of like those Romanian deadlifts we did in the last class in this series. You don't wanna reach yourself down with your arms when you're lunging, so I'm not here rounding my back. I'm thinking of this all happening through my hips, moving back in space. You've got 3, 2, and 1. That was our little practice set here. We're gonna go into our chest press next. The weights are gonna come onto your thighs to push them up. So all the weights you're using for this set, if they felt really easy for you, I want you to go up in weight. If you feel like you're getting some good movement, I want you to stay where you are because again, you only have a 30-second interval, so I don't want you moving too slow through these sets today. Okay, here we go, 3, 2, bells come on the thighs, you're gonna push them back, let them take you back and roll. Elbows should be about 45 degrees, palms slightly in. We're gonna push up 2, bring them down, push up 1, bring it down, push up 1, bring it down. You can also do it this way, push up 2, leave 1 up, bring the other down, leave 1 up, bring the other down. Sometimes that feels better. So we'll go down, push up 2, leave 1 up, other down, leave 1 up, other down, or we can go up, all the way to the bottom, support 1 on the ground, push, support the other on the ground, push. Both are great options here. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. To set it down, I bring 1 bell down, grab the other, let myself roll to the side, just like my Turkish Get Up. Okay, we are arriving at Turkish Get Up round 2. So you have 3 sets of everything here. We're gonna go through our second get up. I'm gonna demonstrate the baby Turkish get up with a weight in case you wanna take that variation. So let's go ahead, get your full get up, or you can join me for the baby with a weight. So we're gonna take your lighter weight, push it over your head, both feet come up, knees over the hips. You're gonna touch your hip, and then you would just roll into your side plank position. Eyes are staying on the bell. It's always in our peripheral vision here as we look up at it. Knuckles are always to the ceiling. Give a little hold in the top position here, pushing into the floor, elevating your chest, and then rolling yourself back down. Keep going through that one, counting as many reps as you can do for 3, 2, and 1. Rest here. Very good. You have your other side. If you did the baby get up, I want you to repeat the baby get up on the opposite side. You can always, even if you know how to do a regular full get up, if you've taken the baby, you want a little more abs, or you just want to change it up, go for it. Just as long as you're getting that rotation, you're also getting a lot of work with that shoulder stability, and adding a weight makes this very challenging on the core. Let's go ahead, bring your bell up. 3, 2, and 1. So roll, bell pushes up, feet come up. I'm gonna touch my hip and give myself that roll to the side. Notice how I push and lift my chest. My knuckles always staying up towards the ceiling here. I'm thinking of rolling over. If you try to roll up like this, especially if you have a weight, you are probably going to get stuck in that position, and that's how you'll know you're not getting yourself over into that side plank. So that's gonna carry over to your regular get up too. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes down. We're gonna take lateral lunges next in our double suitcase. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Let's go ahead, get ready to step. I want you to count your reps this time and try to match your rep count on the left side, and then we move to the right side each time. I'll stand a little bit at an angle today so you can see this set a little differently. Okay, here we go. Clock is on for your first side of lateral lunges. We're stepping one direction in this set. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So stand it up. Weights are on the outside. 1 will move towards the inside. I push here. I like to keep my gaze either a little bit in front of me or directly in front of me as I step. Really think about, are you sitting back into your hip, kind of like those weighted hip shifts? Can you really get your booty kind of behind you versus just shifting it out to the side here and putting pressure in your knees? You're here for 3, 2, and 1. In this set, you might only get 6 reps. Maybe you get up to 8 reps. No pressure there. I just want you to try to get something where you feel like you can keep stepping and you don't really have to stand in this position for too long, waiting around. So I want to try to keep that movement happening. Okay, you have just about 10 seconds left until we go into our next set. Roll your shoulders back. Let's try to have our best posture of the set here. We're going to continue that throughout the class. 3, 2, and 1. So we'll stand up, and I'm going to step out to the side this way. There we go. So my hips going back here, or maybe this angle. I'm always trying to be like, what would you guys want to see? All the different angles here. When we did this before in this program, I instructed you to move the weight that was on the inside kind of towards the instep of that foot. That can remain true here. You can sort of keep the other bell close, move that one in, and that's gonna help facilitate getting your hip back a little bit more. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Bells come down, chest press, set number 2. Let's get ourselves ready for this one. As always, I like to remind you guys, I like dumbbells for this, because sometimes it's kind of cumbersome to get the bells up and into the rack position when you're laying down. So if you have access to dumbbells and you're going to use them for anything today, this would be the interval that I think makes the most sense to incorporate those. Let's go ahead, come down into position. Remember, it's 2, 1, 1. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Lay it down onto the back, upper back into the floor. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. So we push. 1 can come down, go back up. Other comes down, goes back up. So I'm gonna breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. If the alternating is tripping you up, you always have options to just alternate, or you can take the 2 double kettlebell press and just keep repeating that for this 30-second interval. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Just like that, guys, we've made it through all of our rounds except for 1. We have 1 more set left. Turkish Get Up. Round 3 is coming up. If you're doing your full get up, this one should be your heaviest get up of the set. Maybe you use this time to keep jumping a bell continuously. Make sure you feel stable, because remember, we don't want that thing moving around over our head. Let's get into position. 3, 2, and 1. So fetal, push it up with both hands. Set my feet out. Tight leg, flexed foot. Touch my hip with opposite hand. Push myself over, roll the side plank. Flat hand, straight arm, lift into my bridge, sweep my knee. Booty goes back. I'm going to lift myself through that hip hinge, either turn my leg back or turn my body to the side, push, step up through the lunge. Make sure my lunge feels secure. Windshield wiper my leg, use my other leg to reach past my knee and stack my shoulders. Heel hits the ground, booty hits the floor, elbow comes down, and I roll myself all the way down, grabbing the bell with both hands, pulling it to my chest, rolling to the side. That's how you do a get up with really fast cueing. You have your second side coming up here. So just go ahead, situate yourself. You can pull the bell around your head. You can get up, change directions, whatever you need to do here. Get-ups are a kettlebell specific skill. They're fun to learn, and I also get a little nice back pop when I do these, especially at the end of the day, so I am here for them. Let's go ahead, hit your other side. 3, 2, and 1. One of the most important parts here is you have a strong connection to your core. So I'm thinking rib cage, pulling down towards my hips. I'm squeezing here. I'm flexing this leg. If you're limp at any point before this roll happens, you might try to roll up. You also might have this happen. You have to control your legs in your get up and your core. It's just like any other movement we do. Your start position is really important. You've got 3, 2, and 1. So I'm always thinking, how tight can I get before the roll so I'm supported and I don't have that leg jump out of place. Okay, lateral lunges. If you are going heavy here, this is the time to do it. Pick up those big kettlebells. Also could use some big dumbbells for this one. A nice in-between, if you're not quite ready for weights yet and you have access to a TRX or some rings like I have here on my pull-up bar, you can hold those in front of you to help keep your chest up, and you can practice that movement. Let's get your first side in 3, 2, and 1. Bells at the sides. I'm going to step back, push to the floor, stand up fully. Almost fell over. Normal if you do that too. You got to really ground through the outside edge. 3, 2, and 1 of your stable leg. So that outside edge of your foot should be really pushing into the floor to help support you and give you a spot to land when you move your opposite leg in. We have 15 seconds here, and then we'll hit our other side. So get ready into position. You might want to just move a little to the other side, and the bells are coming up, guys. Here we go. Clock is on for your final set of lateral lunges. Bet you're happy about that. In 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna hinge, pick them up, step off to the side. Here we go. Big step. Again, try to think of your chest and your shoulders staying forward. I don't want to be overly rotating my body this way. I'm thinking if I am rotating, it's coming a little from my waist and not from my hip. I should feel ideally my inner thigh and this outside part of my hip, my glute medius, as I execute the movement. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Maybe same bells or different bells. You have a 30-second rest break, and then we will come into our final set of chest presses here. If you're working on your push-up, don't sleep on doing weighted chest presses. It actually can feel a little easier than doing push-ups because you don't have to move your full body weight. You're only moving the weight that you are pressing. But doing these repeatedly combined with practicing push-ups can help you get strong enough to actually execute moving your full person in a push-up. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Sometimes people are like, how do I get good at push-ups? I'm like, you should practice small bits of push-ups to the level that you're at, but you should also just work on getting your chest stronger, getting your arms stronger overall. And that can include lifting free weights like we're doing here. It could include using machines. You just gotta have a really solid training plan because honestly, body weight programs are some of the hardest programs to do. Pull-ups, push-ups, pistol squats, all that stuff. 3, 2, and 1. It's not just a given. You gotta kind of build some strength before you get there. You're doing the right things, my friends. Okay, so take a little break. We are going to go into our 10-minute complex, and you're gonna want a bell that feels maybe like a comfortable snatch weight bell for you or a comfortable push press weight bell for you. This could be 1 bell higher than when we did this complex with double bells in a previous class in this program. So just bring a couple if you're not sure, and we're gonna go through this together. It is an EMOM format, but you're gonna get just a little bit of rest break while I explain what you're up to for the movement and give you one demo through to practice. So for the next 10 minutes, we're going to take on a kettlebell complex that is the exact same one we've done in the past in this program, just with one bell. So we're gonna do each side of the body in 60 seconds. Your sequence is hang clean, squat to press, push press, swing clean, another push press, and an optional kettlebell jerk. So it looks like this. I'm gonna pick up my kettlebell, land it in the hang position, which is just our start position for a hinge row. After that, I'm going to clean it, take a squat through a press, pull it down, hit a push press like we did in the warm-up, pull it down, come into a swing style clean, squeeze the booty, bend, push again. Then I can come in a little bit, bend my knees, dip, drive, and stand. So that is one rep sequence. This is one that I don't want you to do the heaviest weight you've ever done because you're not gonna get a lot of rest break between the sides when we complete this one. We're gonna be kind of moving and getting our heart rate up a lot cardiovascularly by kind of keeping some continuous movement with little rest through this. I'm gonna go through the entire sequence with you, and remember, if you're not confident yet in kettlebell jerks, you can go ahead and skip those. I would say leave your legs a little bit wider so you can accommodate your swing clean in the middle. So you want to kind of keep them in that position throughout. We'll take about 30 seconds until we go into the sequence. I'll take the first one just a little bit slow so you can get the groove of the movements with me, and I'll call each one out individually. So you can kind of follow me through them. There won't be a countdown to each movement, but I'll just call them out as I do them. So let's go ahead and stand over our bells. We're gonna come into, remember, our hang clean position. So hips will go back. You're just gonna hold your bell, keep your core nice and tight. Let's go ahead, lift your bell in 3, 2, and 1, stand. We're gonna hang, we're gonna clean, squat to press, bring it down, push press, pull it down to the rack, drop it through a swing clean, one more push press, pull it down, bend, dip, drive, dip to a jerk, pull it down. We can then drop to the hang position again, just moving the bell over, getting under our bell, squat to press, pull it down, bend, push press, pull it down, drop it for a swing clean, bend, push press, pull it down, dip, drive, dip, hit your jerk, pull it down. So I moved pretty fast through that entire sequence. I still have about 30 seconds rest there. So that was your first little warm-up set, set 1. You can start to decide how comfortable are you moving quickly? Do you want to take out the jerk? And could you go up a little bit in your weight? Did it feel a little bit easy for you? So let's go ahead and get started. Again, we don't have too much rest time here. I'm going to call out each movement. If you feel comfortable going hang clean right into your squat, you can take that variation. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So I'm going to stand up, drop into the hang, clean drop into my squat, push, pull it down, bend, push, pull it down, drop into my swing clean, bend, push, pull it down, dip, drive under the bell, pull it down. I can then bend, just pass it over so I'm in hang position, maybe drop right into that squat, go up, pull it down, dip, push it up, pull it back down, swing clean, dip, push press number 2, and then it's the dip, drive and dip under the weight for the kettlebell jerk, setting it down. That one took me just a little bit longer. We have around 20 seconds to rest. You've made it through round 2. Let's go ahead and hit round 3, set 3 out of 10. I'll kind of come in a different setup for you. Roll the shoulders back. If you get lost in this one, don't worry, you're gonna practice it 2 times, and we have a lot of rounds to perfect it. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So we hang, squat, press, pull it down, push press, pull it down, swing clean, push press, pull it down, dip, drive, dip in the jerk. We can drop to the hang, switch hands, hang clean, press, pull it down, push press, bring it to the rack, bring it into your swing clean, push press again, pull it down, dip, right into your jerk, stand it up, set the bell in its spot, shake it out. Right here, that was about 35 seconds, so we have about 25 to go. Round 4 coming up. You're getting close to your halfway point through this sequence. Roll the shoulders back a little bit. Let's go ahead, breathe in through our nose. Try to relax a little bit. If you're going heavier today, you might go a little slower than I am here, which is awesome. I just want you to make sure you have at least 15 to 20 seconds in between your rounds. Let's hit round 4 in 3, 2, and 1. So we'll hang, Drop right into the squat, push, pull it down, push, press, pull it down. Drop into your swing clean, push, pull it down, very good. Dip, drive, dip, jerk, pull it down. All the puppies are coming out for us here. Drive to the hang, sit, push, pull it down, push, press, pull it down, swing clean, keep it close to the body. And I forgot my jerk. I was like, what's coming up next? Waiting for the puppy crew to bark. Okay, guys, we have 20 seconds. We're gonna hit round 5 here. So this would be your halfway point in the sequence. Round 5, your halfway point in the sequence. Gang's all here, they're excited. Roll your shoulders back just a little bit. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's take this sequence. Second time through, I'm gonna go a bigger bell for demos, just for solidarity. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So we hang. We might clean, then squat to press. That's totally fine. Pull it down. Push, press, pull it down. Swing clean. Push, press, jerk. Drop to the hang, switch, hang clean, squat to press, push, press, pull it down. Drop down the body, swing clean, push, press, pull it down, dip, drive, dip, get under that bell for your jerk. Set it down. That is 5 rounds down. We have 5 more to go. This sequence is gonna keep coming up as we finish out this program. And then, little preview, something like this, or this exact thing is going to be on the final test. So you'll be able to perfect it, feel really good in these quick burst, ballistic movements, kind of like Olympic lifting, just with your little kettlebells here. Okay, so let's go ahead, get after it. This would be round 6. Clock is on 3, 2, and 1. So hang into my squat, press, pull it down, push, press, pull it down, dip, drive, dip, jerk, pull it down. I messed up there. I did the push press out of order. Don't hate me there. I might have messed you guys up. Go to your other side if you're like me. And you go a little bit premature. Push, press. I forgot the swing clean. That's what happened. Push, press again. Dip, drive, dip into the jerk, pull it down, set it down. Little shaky round 6, but we got through it together. Round 7 is coming up, coming in hot pretty soon. Just stick with it. Try to let your breathing just happen naturally. Get those exhales on the pops. Know that you don't have to take big sucks of air in for your inhales. Just let the breath happen. Try to take your exhale as you release the weight to lift. Let's get our hang clean. 3, 2, and 1. Pull it down, push, press, swing clean, push, press, jerk, pull it down, drop to hang, right into your squat to press, push, press, swing clean, right down the body, hips go back, push, press, jerk. So a little bit of play between our slight vertical position to come into our push press and our hips back a little further to go into our deep hinge for our swing clean. Okay, round 8, 9, 10. We're gonna go 3 more rounds. Round 8 coming up, round 9, and then our final set. So 3 more sets, and you guys are out of here today. Heart rate should be going up a little bit. My advanced students, this is where you go with that big bell. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Hang right into my squat to press, bend, push, swing clean. Just don't hit your knees, bend, push, drop it down, dip, drive, dip in your jerk, drop to the hang, see if you can catch it right into that squat to press, pull it down, dip into your push press. Remember, we kind of have a push press sandwich here. There's another one before you hit your final jerk of the sequence. Positioning your feet. When we go into rounds 9 and 10, I want you to pay extra attention to, are you rolling around in your feet? Can you keep them pretty flat? The weight distributed evenly through the toes, through the sole, through the heel. I'd say a little less in the toes actually, but really use everything you got here. Try not to lean too far back into your heel. We want to push through the center in a lot of this stuff. Let's get round 9. Hang clean. 3, 2, and 1. So we come up, hang, drop to squat. I'm noticing where I'm putting that pressure in my feet. Elbow, shoot slightly back, find my second push press. Dip right into the jerk, pull it down. Hang, dip, go right into your swing clean, let it drop down. It's just a little break for your hands there and a big thrust. If the jerk is feeling complicated for you, little bits of it, we're gonna work on bending, and then as we extend our hips, we actually move ourselves back down. And that's really all it is. And you wanna be in the front part of your foot in order to facilitate that well. Okay, let's do this one for the puppies. Last set, they've been amazing dog children, have yet to have an eruption. Let's see if we can get through the final minute of class without the doorbell ringing. Here we go, hang clean. 3, 2, and 1. So we'll stand it up. Hang, clean, squat, push, pull it down. Push press, pull it down. Swing clean, push press. Optional kettlebell jerk. Okay if your heels come off the floor. Hang clean, squat to press, pull it down. Push press, pull it down. Drop into your swing clean, push press. Finish out with that last kettlebell jerk. Weight comes down. Whew. Also good to note that sometimes this stuff can actually feel a little easier if your weight is a little heavy. You don't want to have it too light. When I was doing the lighter bell, I kind of had to muscle up my jerk a little bit instead of really feeling that motion. So if you're somewhere in between, I recommend trying a few sets with a heavier weight and see if it feels more fluid for you. Like if you really have to work for the movement, it's probably going to fall in place a little bit easier. Okay, you guys did it. You do not need a big stretch session after this class. I want you to take 5 minutes for yourself as always and let your central nervous system calm down. Drink some water, refocus, and take all the work you put into class today into the rest of your day. I will see you guys in your next set of classes in this program or in another Bells Up Studio class. Remember, get real, get strong, bells up. Bye.